Welcome to the Football Show on PLZ Soccer's YouTube channel, sponsored by Arnold Clark. I'm Peter Martin, delighted to have you on the programme, and also our guests in the studio, Alan Ruff and Barry Ferguson, with me to talk over the weekend's results in the League Cup and also the emerging news today. And of course, there's a fair bit to talk about. Yeah, lots to talk about on the programme, as well as looking back over those weekend results. But first and foremost, let's cut to the chase. Kenny Miller, 7 weeks in charge, 4 wins, 2 draws, 1 defeat. The player-manager role's not working, Barry Ferguson.
Yeah, I'll be honest, when I seen the news come out late last night, I was surprised, because obviously it's only been 7 weeks since Kenny's been in the job. But I'll go back to 7 weeks ago when he got appointed. I was surprised. I know Kenny still feels he can play at a high level. I still think he can play as well, but managing the two roles was always going to be difficult for him.
But come on, 7 weeks, they know right away that he's going to be player managers happen down through the decades.
Yep, I know that's where I find it strange, because as you say, it's only 7 weeks ago Kenny's come in. He's obviously says to him that he wants to continue playing. He is going to play most games because he's a manager, he picks the team. So the board must have discussed all this before they entered into talks with Kenny. So that's why I was surprised and shocked at the decision, because it's 7 weeks. It's not a lot of time to go in and obviously put your ideas across to the team. He was obviously in the press last week saying that he was still looking to sign players to strengthen the squad, because it's going to be a long, hard season for Livingston, let's be honest, this season. But I'm surprised. That's all I can say about it.
Yeah, I mean, knowing Kenny, he's had a bad rap over the last, couple of years. I think the tail end of his playing career, he's been made out to be this bad apple in the dressing room. And then suddenly you throw in the mix here, 7 weeks into it, and suddenly, they're parting company with him. Is it more a reflection on Kenny, or do you think this is just, again, a board that really doesn't know where it's going?
Well, going back to Kenny, he's had a lot of bad press over the last 3 or 4 months, obviously, the instance that happened at Rangers. I know Kenny, I had my say about that. I know him as a person and what type of character he is, and he's not a troublemaker. That was the Rangers side. The Livingston side, I don't know. It looks to me that there's things went on behind the scenes. I know Kenny was wanting to bring in his own person. That wasn't. I don't think he was allowed to do that. So there's been things going on the last 2 or 3 weeks that certainly Kenny's not been happy with, and obviously the board have not been happy with, and they've made a decision yesterday to end his chapter at Livingston. But Kenny will need to come out. Me knowing Kenny, I'm sure that he'll want to get out and let people know what's went on the last few weeks.
Where does he go from here?
I think he'll continue playing. There's no doubt in my mind. I said that I was texting him over the summer when I seen the Livingston thing come up, just to make sure you make the right decision. But Kenny's his own man, sorry. I still believe Kenny can play at the highest level in Scotland, so I'm sure that he'll want to try and continue that.
Buffy, there's early reports that maybe even St Mirren could, be sniffing about. I would suggest, there are a number of clubs will be looking, thinking he can still do a job for a seaon.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Hibs were interested as well. He's a player. We know how fit he is. We know that he is. I think he would be good in the dressing room. After obviously hear all these stories, I don't, like Barry, I don't believe them for a minute. I just think he's a 100% professional who goes in and does his job, and other players will get the spin off for him. And if you use him sparingly, he'll score goals. And the bottom line for me, that's what it's all about, scoring goals. It was interesting that they gave him the two-month trial period being a player manager. That's a strange one, that, So you have to draw conclusions that they weren't happy with it, because the results themselves were quite positive.
Yeah. I mean, why give him the job in the first place? I'm sure Kenny, as I say, I know what type of guy is. When he's sitting around the table, he would have told them what's going to be happening. And surely the board have got to back that. But 7 weeks, Peter, It's no long enough. There's obviously something on in the background, and look, we don't know what's actually on until Kenny or a board member comes out and tells the public. And the Livingston fans as well, they've went and bought season tickets, spent a lot of money in merchandise or whatever, so they'll want to know answers as well.
But do you think Kenny needs to come out quickly before his name gets tarnished?
Yep, and I think he will, knowing Kenny. He will need to do it sooner rather than later, but I'm knowing Kenny, and I'll keep going back to it, I think the best thing for Kenny is for him to come out himself, and I'm sure he will do that.
I don't think he can afford now for everybody drawing their own conclusions. I think it has to be out there, and everybody knows exactly what the circumstances were.
Yeah, okay. The other news that we were looking at, Stephen Gerrard says there should be no place in top-flight football for artificial turf. I'm 100% behind him. I don't like it in the top flight. If we want to be taken seriously, we've had a number of stupid rules over the last, 20, 30 years. The SPL, the SPFL, any reincarnation you want to talk about. I could go through a list of things that are stupid. This one, I think, is another one.
Yep, I've got to agree with him. I think top flight football should be played in grass. I think any type of football at a professional level should be on grass. I understand lower league clubs, Peter, needing AstroTurf. It's cost effective. It saves them going and getting training in facilities and paying for that elsewhere. But for me, top flight football should be played on grass. And I know people do ankle ligaments and knee ligaments on grass as well. But AstroTurf, I'm not a fan of it. And I think top flight football should be played on grass.
I think it was to the detriment, Ruffy, of Mikey Devlin's career at Hamilton Accies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think we had somebody on our show who went into it at depth, and they weren't really saying about playing in it now. It's when you finish in 10 years' time. And it's the damage that's causing you. You might not pick up an injury, but the damage that it's causing you, your hips, your ankles, your knees, later on in life, that's when it'll kick in. I agree with Barry. I mean, I can't believe that I think the SPFL actually did a survey with all the players. You know, of
the
best.
PFA Scotland has come out, Ruffy, today, and again, I think reiterating what Stephen Gerrard has said. You've got to listen to the players and what they're saying, and I think they're now saying, listen, this can't go on.
Yeah, if they vote the three worst playing surfaces in the league as the three surfaces that are AstroTurf, surely you've got to listen to the guys who are playing on it.
Yeah, I'll tell you another thing that I think is going to rear its ugly head. 20 years from now, we'll have the same situation that we had with the old leather ball and Alzheimer's and the link between that and dementia. I think a lot of footballers will be out in 20 years who've been playing consistently in AstroTurf and saying these injuries can be directly linked to these poor surfaces.
When I went and got I had a major knee operation, and right after the operation, that's one of the things the surgeon told me. He's like, look, AstroTurf weather, I know sometimes you get bad weather, you had to go indoors and train in an indoor facility with 3G at the time. I know it's 4G and 5G you get now, but they told me not to go and train on it, because it does, as Ruffy said, it does cause problems later on in life. And if you've had an injury, to go and play on it, I think if you ask any player in the league what surface they want to play on, and it's grass for me.
Okay, you can give us your view on that. Go on to PLZ Soccer YouTube, just post your thoughts on some of the major issues we're talking about. You can also go on to facebook.com/PLZ Soccer and at PLZ Soccer on Twitter. Give us your view on, of course, Kenny Miller, the sacking. Maybe the story will come out and he'll nail it for us. Maybe Livingston will have something more to say on it. Give us your view on his treatment. And would you take him, if you're a fan looking at the transfer window being open right now, would you take Kenny Miller in there to score goals for you at Championship level or indeed at Premiership level? And what about AstroTurf? Are you a fan? Do you think it's the way ahead as the pitches start to get better? 5G, who knows? 6 and 7G might actually be the ultimate answer for us. Give us your view on that. Of course, at the weekend it was the League Cup second round ties for the right to get into the quarter-final. Here's what happened. just seems to be getting better and better for Alfredo Morelos. Steven Gerrard wants him to sign a new deal. Suddenly that 3.75 million, I'm not surprised he knocked it back. He could be worth a lot more if he keeps banging in the goals.
Oh, he's worth £10 million. I'm telling you. No, in a serious note, he's looking a different player.
Yeah.
He looks, first and foremost, he looks, if he's playing with a smile on his face. And that's something that I kind of put to him, or I put on that show, that he never looked happy when he was playing with Rangers, but to me he looks a different character.
Is that credit to the manager?
It's got to be. I'm sure he spent a bit of time with him, and he's had a chat with him and said, look, because he has got something in him, and I've always said that there is a good player in him, and his performances are showing. But one thing, he's starting to score goals now, Peter, which is massive.
I think Rangers have now got players round about them that are going to get them more goals. You know, I think the delivery, as we saw at the weekend there, the delivery into the box, that's what kind of player he is. He finds that wee extra yard, and that's how he's getting his goals. You know, he doesn't have to go outside the box to get them. All his stuff is in there, and his movement, and he's turning big centre halves, and he's getting shots on target, and that's why he's scoring.
Were they worthy of the win against Kilmarnock?
Yeah, I thought, again, they've never looked under any real pressure, any trouble losing the game. I know when the sign of a good team is when Kilmarnock got that deflected goal, it made it 2-1, then you're thinking to yourself when I was watching it, right, what's Rangers going to do about it? And I just thought Rangers stepped up a gear again and went on and got the third goal, and for me they thoroughly deserved it. They're looking at a team, as I'll say, they're looking at a well-drilled unit. They looked... Again, if it's a team that's getting worked really hard on the training ground and they know their job's inside out, and that's for the goalkeeper right through to the centre forward. So things are looking good, and I will keep going back to it. It's still early stages, but they're certainly going in the right direction.
Yeah, OK. And what about yesterday's other result at Easter Road, Ruffy? Daryl Horgan popping up with that late winner, 3-2 against Ross County.
Yeah, it's always good when you get a new signing in to score the winner. You know, get the fans on the right side. You know, it's always good to be an instant hero, and that's what he was with scoring that winner. Obviously, Ross County put up a good display, but no, at the end of the day, you know, coming off the back of the European game, I'm sure Neil would have thought it would have been a tough one, but at the end they come through it okay. Yep,
they get the win as well. We'll be looking at the draw shortly, but of the games that were taking place on this Saturday, Ruffy, you were there for the early kick-off. You were watching your team Partick Thistle take on Celtic. I put it down to two moves from Christian Gamboa that killed off Partick Thistle. Is that harsh?
No, not at all. I thought I would go even further than that. You know, when we threw on a couple of 17-year-olds and they threw in £40 million worth of stuff on the bench, Dumbelli, McGregor, and Forrest, you know, they just upped it and turned the tide. And you're right, Gamboa did, you know, come good on the second half, but at least the Thistle fans got a wee bit excited for a minute when it went to one each.
Yeah, absolutely. When you said there they threw on 40 million and you went Dumbelli, McGregor and Forrest, I could see Barry going, okay, he's worth this.
Well, Cat wouldn't be far away, would it? Dumbelli, how much?
Yeah,
£10 million.
20 million.
No, 10 million.
10 million. They're going down in price now.
McGregor?
Yeah, listen, he's a player that I rate highly. He's 9.5.
Forrest 2.5.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just a few million more than Morelos. Listen, they got the win, and they are through as well. Of the other big teams and the way this whole thing is shaping up, Aberdeen convincing winners over St Mirren. One of the things that I think is gathering a bit of pace is the form of Gary Mackay-Steven, and great that Stevie May got his goal because he needed a goal.
Yep, going back to Gary Mackay-Steven, listen, he started the season off really well, and there's obviously shouts that he might be involved in the next Scotland squad. Listen, for me, he's just got to show a bit of consistency, and if he does that, he's got a lot of ability. The boy, he's one of the players where he can go past 3 or 4 players easily. So listen, without doubt, if he keeps that form up, I'm sure he'll be in Alec McLease's mind.
I still think Derek's side are 2 or 3 short, Ruffy, but the one thing that they need is a player of Gary Mackay-Steven's ability, because the crowd, you can sense the Dons fans they actually get, they're lifted when he's on the ball because they think something's going to happen.
Yeah, that's why I hope he gets picked for Scotland, because I think particularly in the home games, I think the old style sort of a winger is something we don't see very often now. Obviously James Forrest's there, but there's nothing better than giving the ball to a winger and going by 2 or 3 players and firing quality balls into the box. I just feel now that I'm looking at all the sides, say Rangers, Hibs, Celtic, Aberdeen, and for me it's what's on the bench. It's what's sitting on the bench when things aren't going particularly well. Who's got the ammunition to go on and throw these players on the park that have equal ability, maybe not equal ability, but near the same ability as the ones you're taking off.
Yep, the other thing I was going to say to you, Ruffy, is there's a Hearts side, and some people have accused me of being very pro-Hearts at the moment, but they've started well. Even when they're not playing well, they've managed to grind out a result at East End Park against Dunfermline.
No, I think Dunfermline are on the up. You just have to look at that attendance at the weekend. I think it was up about 8,000 or 9,000, which is fantastic for an old team like Dunfermline, who've got fantastic history in the game, and the supporters are wanting to come back. So that was always going to be a tough one for Hearts, but they came through it.
Yep, okay, and of the other results, I think one that's screaming out at me, Barry, is, Dundee 0, Ayr United 3, even with sendings off. I think Neil McCann's under pressure.
Yep, I thought it would have been a hard game for Dundee, but I fancied Dundee to just nick it, and when I seen the result, I know you're saying a few sending offs, but Neil will know himself, he'll be under a bit of pressure now. It's been a difficult start to the season for him, and the weekend's game is a massive one for him. St Johnstone, he'll need to win that game for me, or he'll be under real pressure. But he'll know that himself. He's no daft, Neil. He's experienced enough to realise that he needs to start getting results on the board.
Yep, elsewhere, Motherwell, again, it was just one goal that in the end, Kenny Miller wasn't to know that was going to be his last game, but Stephen Robinson, the cup finalists, are on to the next round.
Yeah, and he'll be pleased with that, the result. The results haven't went their way, and obviously lost a lot of players, brought some players in, but not getting the results. So he'll just take that result and go up the road and look for the draw.
Here's a nice thing that was said over the weekend. Tommy Wright saying that Tony Watt and St Johnstone just seems to be that match made in heaven. They'll be ideal for each other. I certainly hope so. I hope Tony Watt can score goals on a regular basis for them.
I said it, Peter, earlier on when he signed with St Johnstone. I hope this is... I think it'll be the right club for him, the right manager to kick on, because he's certainly got a lot of ability, Tony Watt. Just the last couple of years, I don't know what's happened with his career. It's kind of faltered a wee bit. But I'm hopeful he goes to St Johnstone and he starts scoring goals again and starts to play well, because he's certainly got something about him, and he's a player that I think if he gets a bit of confidence, starts scoring goals, he'll be a right asset for St Johnstone.
Yep, we wish him the best of luck. Let's have a look at the quarter-final draw for the Betfred League Cup. And it's Hearts against Motherwell, Hibs against Aberdeen, Rangers Ayr United, St Johnstone against Celtic. Which one is the favourite for you there, Ruffy, that you'll be keeping your eye on? For me, it's at Easter Road.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think Hibs Aberdeen always throw up good games. I think Hibs will be happy. They've got the home tie this one, but I think this will be a packed house, obviously, and I'm sure we'll get a good game.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll get a good game. If you were to put your money on, even in the early stages, before some of them sign players before that, who would you go for?
I go for Hibs.
Yeah, to win it at home?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a surprise. Barry?
I'm going for Hibs.
Yeah. And at Rangers against Ayr United, will they be happy with that?
Yeah, of course you're happy with a home game and 50,000 fans behind you. They're a team that's playing with confidence, there's no doubt about it. So I'm sure Steven Gerrard will be happy with the home draw. But listen, you can't take Ayr United lightly. Great result from up at Dundee, but Rangers will go through.
Yeah. Okay. Before we get to the end of it, if you were going to pick 4 teams for the semi-final, who would it be for you, Barry?
Rangers, Celtic, Hibs and Hearts.
Oh, that would be an absolute howitzer. East versus West, Ruffy.
Yeah, 2 semi-finals as well. East versus West would be great.
Yeah, okay, I get where you're going with that, Ruffy. Anyway, listen, we've got to look at the head-to-heads. I mean, it's as simple as that. It's been, again, he's got his supercilious face on as we speak, Ruffy, but he's doing well at the moment. He's the early front runner. Look at that for the predictions. 19 place, 14 place, 13. I've slipped back from second place, Ruffy, but you know, the early front runner, and I don't want to give him a quote, you know, as if to say, you know, he's so in touch with the modern game, but we're behind, Ruffy.
Yeah, but as you know, there can be 1 week you could get maybe 17, 18 points and somebody might just fall short. So as long as the gap doesn't get bigger, that's the important thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, with that in mind, we will keep our eye on the predictions. You can give us your view on some of the topics we've been discussing. Give us your view on the League Cup quarter-final draw as well. You can get it on facebook.com/PLZ Soccer, also on our Twitter account, and you can also post messages, which we'll do our best to reply to on the YouTube channel every night, 6 o'clock, PLZ's football show, sponsored by Arnold Clark. Just before we go, of course, you know, somebody's going to snap up Kenny Miller. Somebody might even snap up Ross McCormack. There's even a link with your old side Rangers regarding that. There are still players to be had that could have a significant impact, I think, on various teams and how they fare. I've got to tell you, I've got to ask you, because we're on what I call the Rangers barometer at the moment, and your mates are going into overdrive because I've spoken to so many Rangers fans this weekend. I even spoke to a Rangers fan in an Italian restaurant in Edinburgh, of all things, and he was skipping along about the thought of Rangers. He said the title is on.
Yeah, but it's the same sort of comments that are coming out of my friend's mouth as well. Listen, I'll keep going back to it, and I feel I'm repeating myself.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go overexcited. It's been a real good start, but it's still early on. But things are looking good. That's all I can really say. Listen, it's,
you know what you sounded like there? You sounded like the Rangers captain of old who would come out in all those boring interviews we had with you.
Oh, but listen, the last couple of years, certainly last season, was really poor. So it couldn't get any worse. But you've got to, I think a big part of this is Steven Gerrard's early recruitment drive. He's got a lot of players in early doors.
Can they win the league this season, or is it too soon?
Celtic are clear favourites for me. Still, Celtic are favourites.
Ruffy?
Mm-hmm. I think we'll get a big judge coming up this first game at Parkhead. You know, I think before, I think when Rangers went there, people were talking about, oh, this is going to be 3 or 4. I don't think they'll be saying that now. I think that they'll know that this will be an epic game, and whoever wins it will then maybe have some kind of bragging rights.
Yeah, it's the 20th of August, by the way. The show's just about to finish. Let me tell you, I don't want any fudging from you two when it comes to the 2nd of September.
No, I'll be honest.
Yeah,
I'll be honest.
Okay. I'm happy with that. Okay, thanks for joining us, Barry Ferguson and Alan Ruff. Don't forget, stay tuned after this programme. You can find out how you can win a car with Arnold Clark. Good night. The transfer window, sponsored by Arnold Clark, is giving you the chance to make your best signing of the summer.
You could win this fabulous Peugeot car if you can bend it like Beckham or swerve it like Messi.
To enter our free competition, click on the link and answer 3 very simple questions. It's a great competition. If you answer all 3 questions correctly, you're in the prize draw, and you could be one of 10 lucky contestants selected to try and bend the ball through Peter and Ruffy's moving transfer window car. Now, you can do it on your own if you've got the skill, or you can select one of our former professional footballers to try and win the car for you.
It's the signing of the summer. Yes, what a shot, left foot, can't let you down. Fantastic, thanks Peter.
It's your chance to win your very own Peugeot in the transfer window, sponsored by Arnold Clark. Click on the link now.
Good luck.